Hi, everyone. So thank you guys for coming to our series tonight, Successful Strategies for Distance Learning. And tonight we have a special presentation by the school's social workers from Roosevelt and Lincoln. And they're going to be talking about social and emotional learning at home. So my name is Melody Sweet, and I'm a family literacy specialist. And I'll let my two co-workers introduce themselves.
I'm Val Svenby, the other literacy specialist in the district.
Abdi Abdullahi, another literacy specialist at the district too.
And I'm Kim Berry.
And I'm Michelle Kaune from Lincoln.
So Michelle, whenever you want to start screen sharing.
All right, I will start here. Why? There's my share screen. All right. So we are going to move this so I can present. All right, can you guys all see our presentation?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna move so I can see more people. All right, so to kind of talk a little bit about social emotional learning and what that means and how as a parent you can help your child. Excited when I'm for students? No. All right, so the first thing is we want to define kind of what social emotional learning is. So at the elementary schools, all students are learning about social emotional learning skills through our second step program. Social emotional learning is how children learn to manage their emotions, show their self-control, set goals, and work hard, bounce back from those setbacks that they have, and make good choices and resolve those conflicts. So learning these skills has a great impact on their life and their success in life. So it's really how do they deal with those things that happen around them in a positive way.
So some emotions are normal for kids to have. Feeling nervous and anxious and things like that are very common emotions to have. But when they become extreme, that's when you want to maybe start researching and seeking out your support staff at school, like myself, Miss Kaune at Lincoln, and Miss Merzola at Jefferson. So the main warning signs to be watching for in children are excessive worry or anxiety, long-lasting sadness or irritability, extreme changes in moods, social withdrawal, withdrawal from favorite activities, changing in eating or sleeping patterns. When you notice these things, you can reach out, like I said, to your support staff, and we continue to be available for kids that are also distance learning, not just in the building. So we can work with any child. And if we feel like it's maybe a little more extreme for us, we will give you some referrals for outside agencies that can provide additional support.
So there's some things that parents can do to help their children cope. You know, one thing is keeping a routine, having those consistent times of this is how we do mealtime, this is when it's bedtime, and those routines that help them, that creates that structure. We do it a lot at school, but doing that at home helps them feel calmer and know kind of what to expect. Feels like they have some control and they feel safe. Also limiting the news and social media. Exposing them to too much information can cause those excessive worrying and anxiety. They need to know what's happening in the world, but if they have too much of it, they don't, especially younger ones, they don't always understand it, and that can make them very scared or worry. Another thing parents can do is to encourage doing those family activities like coloring, puzzles, walks, cooking, playing games. Just having that time as a family really helps kids cope with those emotions and know that they're safe and things are okay. setting limits on video games and other electronics. It's hard when we're distance learning because we are on those electronics all the time. I catch myself doing that too. So making sure that we are having that time away. Too much time on the electronics can cause some mental health issues and can turn into an addiction. It also helps, it can cause weight gain and poor physical health or getting other illnesses. I know I was talking to one staff member today about just our eyes and being always looking at electronics and how it can affect our eyes. So giving our eyes a break from that is always a great thing. And then caring for yourself as a parent is very important. Pay attention to how you're feeling, making sure that you're getting enough sleep and taking care of yourself and staying active. It helps your kids learn good coping skills when you are demonstrating that by taking care of yourself. And we can only be good parents if we are okay ourselves. If we're not taking care of ourselves, we can't help our kids. So we need to make sure and do that self-care for us also. Some other good things that we can do is encourage that emotional and positive mental health and wellness is setting your child up for success by helping them learn and participating in it. If kids know that you're interested and that you're there to help them too, it helps them work harder. So it's amazing how the research that shows how parents being involved in knowing what their kids are learning does make a difference in how well they learn. Another thing is to encourage that growth mindset. They might not have it right now, they might not have it yet, but they can get it if they keep practicing, and that we just need to keep working at it and being a team. And reading books together, doing different activities together is really important and a way for you guys to connect, and then they know they're safe and they can talk to you. So doing those family activities really does help them feel more comfortable coming to you when they are feeling upset or worried or anxious, and trusting that you're going to be there to help them. Any questions so far? Okay. We're throwing a lot of stuff at you.
So we did mention taking care of yourself as a parent. And so we do have on our Faribault website, a calming space website. And are you going to click on that, Michelle?
Yep, I'll click it so they can show it. We'll show you what it looks like.
When you're feeling stressed, some of these tools on here, they're naming journaling. It gives you ideas how to journal and what things to journal about. Guided meditation, so that just helps you relax and visualize and help clear your mind and calm yourself. And visual relaxation, that would be some really calming pictures with music, and there's different, when you click on it, there's different things, whatever you're interested in, you can select different things. If water calms you, you can select water. If animals calm you, you can select animals. And then do you want to go back to the other fire?
Yep, back to the presentation.
Just back to the screen. You just want to go over the other. Yep. And then there's puzzles and games and stretching and yoga. So lots of different ideas, and you and your child can do these things together. And when kids have a lot of screen time too, it can trigger a lot of different feelings as well. So doing these things together can help model and facilitate mental wellness and help you stay calm and be able to get on with the day. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. And you can do different things each day. But if you just put aside time for that every single day, maybe you do like a calming visual relaxation before bed. Or you might do it right away in the morning. Then you'll be able to really make that a habit. So we really encourage you to do some of these activities. And you don't have to use this website. It's a really helpful one. It can help you at first when you get started, and then maybe you develop your own ways to do that. But just setting that time aside every day at the same time will help develop that good mental wellness.
And helps deal with that stress. We all have stress in our lives. Kids do too. So giving them that time that it's okay. We're just going to take a break. We're going to get ourselves back feeling okay again as much as we can, so that we can start figuring things out. So dealing with that stress. All right. Let's see. So the next one is handling fear. And how do we help our kids handle fear? Setting up that routine really does help them know what's coming, and helps them handle any fear that they are having. Managing your own anxieties, because kids know when we're anxious or worried or fearful. They read us pretty well as parents, and so managing your own emotions helps them. Limiting that social media and news exposure. Answering any questions they have is a huge thing. Being honest and answering those questions. Making plans so they know what to expect. If they are fearful of something happening, just saying, okay, so here, let's set up our plan. If this were to happen, what would you do? Keep kids in the loop, but keep it simple. They don't need to know everything. And depending on their age as to how much you might want to share with them. Check in with your children, picking up that calm, undistracted time to ask how they're feeling, having that meditation every night, or having that calming thing and saying, okay, how was your day? How are you feeling today? What's going on? So a lot of people do that at the supper table. It's a great time for us to talk about our day and how you're feeling. And then ask for help. We are here to help. So reach out to any of us anytime. If your kid is, fearful of something and you just don't know what to do, ask us. We're here to help. That's, there's nothing wrong with asking for help, because we don't always know the answers. Kim and I don't always know the answers, and we have to call for help all the time for each other, because, that's what teams are for. And we are part of a team with parents. So.
And Michelle, I just want to add a little
Yep.
tidbit. Sometimes fear, again, is common. And it's when the fears become overwhelming to them, or it takes over daily activities in their life. You want to be watching for that. But this is kind of a unsettling time, and we don't always know the answers to the things that are happening right now. But the media for sure makes things bigger, right? And so we want to make sure that our kids are not being exposed to that, and that you watch the news and then you choose the things that, even as adults, it's hard to tell what the real story is and what isn't. So just trying to avoid the news media, and doing your own research and talking to people and get the real facts. So, and then I also wanted to say, sometimes just before bed, hanging out, and like Michelle said, reading a book will really provide a lot of security to your child, and provide that opportunity to be able to connect with you and be able to talk about what's going on or what they're thinking. And it's really important to talk to them, so we can get what they're thinking, because sometimes if they keep that inside, their thoughts get bigger and then they come up with their own conclusions. So we want to make sure that we're connecting and talking to children. Now I'm done. In gaining confidence, sometimes kids, especially when they're not around other kids and they are distance learning, it can be a real struggle, and they may not feel like they are connected to the rest of the class or the rest of the community. So it's really important to help them when they're feeling defeated. Perhaps they're online and they're doing their work and they don't feel connected, so they don't feel successful. So it's important point out those successes when you see them and praise their effort. Don't say, you're so smart, you can do this, you're so smart. You can say, remember when you tried really, really hard on this and you were able to do it and accomplish that, and you did really well. So always praise the effort and encourage independence. Sometimes it's hard to watch your kids struggle, or it's easier to step in. Instead of, sometimes kids want to have little battles to try to get out of work and things like that. And so sometimes it's exhausting. And so parents want to step in and do things for their child just to avoid all that conflict. But that is really destructive to children, and we want to encourage them to be independent. So if you're taking care of yourself and using those tools to help you stay calm, you're going to be ready to take those other things on and encourage them to be more independent and take advantage of their learning, and allow them to learn. And the more they're doing it themselves, the better it will be. And teach problem solving. If they have an issue and they're melting down all the time and we are solving that problem for them every time, they're not going to learn those problem solving skills. So asking questions like, how do you think that you should solve that problem? Or remember you had that problem before, how did you figure it out? Or how would your friend do that? What would you tell your friend to do? So those are some just sentence starters that you could encourage them to be doing things on their own.
Yep.
And that will build their confidence.
Yeah. And I'm going to jump in as that pointing out those successes, but praising that effort. For our kids that struggle with that, with the schoolwork, if it's hard, praising that, okay, let's try this, and breaking it down, helping them problem solve. What do I need to do next if I don't understand it? But really praising when they're able to work hard at trying to figure it out. Because even if they get it wrong, that effort of trying and the thought process is huge. And encouraging them to keep going, because the more we practice, the more we get better at it, and
if they get it wrong, then their teacher is able to know where to help them and support them and reteach and redo things.
Yeah.
So we want kids to make mistakes so we know where they're at.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. If it's not spelt right, that's okay. The teachers will take care of it. We don't expect everything to come back perfect, because then, that's just more stress on you and more stress on the kids, and it doesn't help the teachers know what they have to help with. So, all right. So and back to supporting that independence, allowing kids to make those mistakes and let them know that it's okay and it's how we learn. We learn so much more from the mistakes that we make than from doing everything perfect. So if they make a mistake or you see them doing something wrong and it's not going to work out, let them do what they think is right. Let them have it not work out and then say, okay, what could we try different? Why do you think it didn't work? That helps them learn that independent skills, and to learn how to handle those failures or those mistakes. Let your children do it on their own and just be their cheerleader. That's our job. It's hard to do as a mom, to watch them, especially when they're going to struggle with it. But the more we can just be their cheerleaders to keep trying and letting them know we're here to help, but I'm not doing it for you, or what part do you need help with? And explain the purpose of education and the blocks of learning, the building blocks. Everything we learn starts here and we just keep building on it. So the more we can help them understand that I might not be able to get it now, or get it yet, but if I keep working at it, if I keep learning, I'm going to be able to read. I'm going to be able to do those math problems my older brother or sister does, those kinds of things. So just helping them understand what they're learning and why they're at the spot they are. Right. Well, let me show you guys. We have one more resource that we wanted to show you guys. I'm going to get out of this and back to our website, because the social workers, when we started this pandemic, we worked really hard to create a we wanted to create a spot where parents could go to get resources. And Val, I see that someone else wants to get in. All right. So what we did was we created a website with a bunch of different information for you guys. So I'm going to show you how to get there from our main website. If you go down to the COVID-19 preparedness plan, kind of a ways around to get to our COVID-19 page, but if you then click on the COVID-19 website, it has a whole bunch of stuff. And under the social work and counseling page, we have a bunch of resources. So we have some parent resources for you. And one of the, actually I have to go up and upload the 8th week. So the Committee for Children's just did a winter well-being video series for parents. And so I've linked them here. So there's 8 weeks of different things to help parents learn how to be self-careful, to take self-care for themselves and manage everything and help them be better for their children. So we've linked those up. We've got talking to your kids about race, all kinds of different things, that resources that are available for you. You know, so it's a lot of different things that we've put out there for you. We also have, I'm going to scroll back up, under our thing, we have social emotional learning, which is kind of what we've been talking about today. And so if you want to do some activities, there's more things that you can do. Here's a whole article of what parents can do to promote it. But we also have lessons available for you. So there's a video that you can watch and then other activities that you can do. Some of them are just articles that give you an activity. Some of them are things that they do online. But we took kind of some of those basic skills of kindness and friendship and coping, handling our feelings, you know, just taking care of our self-esteem and that growth mindset and being mindful. So there's a lot of things there. We also at the bottom have a bunch of other books that are available online. So you can just click and watch them with your kids. Like Interrupting Chicken is a fun one to talk about how to stop interrupting. But you know, there's Managing the Worries and Anxiety. There's also the Magic Breath, which helps them learn to take good breaths. So those are some cool things. We do have mental health resources, whether it's, sorry, my dog is yelling at the cat. So we have mental health resources, whether it's for you or for your child, because sometimes as parents, we're going through all this craziness too, and we need support. So we have the provider list for Rice County, that they have the providers in Faribault and Northfield. We also have different calming strategies and some other information for you. And then there's chemical health resources available, community resources. So if you're struggling in many different ways, it might not just be the self-care piece, but you have you need food, or you have a child protection issue, or just need some different resources. There's different things around on there for you. And then if you have a middle school or high school student, there's their information. Activities for kids. This is a fun one. So there's lots of different activities that you can do with your kids to learn about different things like self-regulation and controlling those emotions, anxiety, mindfulness, and yoga. There's some fun ones that are for kids, but as a parent doing it, they'll be fun for you too. And then at the bottom, we do have all of the social workers listed in the district. So we are all up there. So if you need to reach out, you can connect. We have our office phone numbers, our Google Voices, and our emails. So, all right, I'm going to stop sharing so I can see everyone again. And then, do you guys have any questions for us?